Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hidden Wisdom Let's Talk channel. I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for allowing me to talk to you another day. I'm grateful for that. But before we get started, somebody need to hear that Jesus heard you. Whatever your prayer is, whatever you've been praying about, Jesus heard you. He did. He heard you. So just continue on praising Him, worshiping Him, being obedient. He heard you. The effectual, fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So you just keep going right down that path. Just keep praising him, keep praying. He heard you. Hold on though. Hold on. Stand. But Jesus did hear you. He heard you. He heard your cry. He heard your prayer. So just keep on going. Keep on praising him. So this message was going to continuation of investing in yourself part. I think this is part 2. But before we do, it's got to be joke time. We got to tell the jokes. Yes. Joke number 1. You know you like these jokes. We say this every time, but you know you like them. What kind of shoes do ninjas wear? What kind of shoes do ninjas wear? They wear sneakers. I'll be cracking my side on these jokes. Why are ghosts bad at lying? Why are ghosts bad at lying? Because you can see right through them. I know they're corny, but they are funny. So anyway, let's get to the meat of the issue. If you go back, if you can, and listen to Invest in Yourself Part 1, I want to pick up from there and just remind you that when you do go to your primary, they do 3 tests. Your blood, as soon as you walk in the door, before you even see a doctor, they're going to do your blood pressure, your pulse, and your oxygen levels. Really, make sure that you know what those are. Like after I guess the medical assistant is what they call them, or maybe the nurse, whoever, takes those readings, then you find out for yourself what those are. And then you can go back to the part 1 and hear what happened to my friend on the oxygen levels, because it's very important that you know at least those 3 things when you go into the doctor's office. It's very important to know that. So I want to move forward with looking at what you take in a medicine bottle. For instance, say if you take some Tylenol, Advil, Motrin, Bayer aspirin, it don't matter, vitamins, whatever you take, your prescription medicine, make sure that what you taking, you pour out of that bottle is what the bottle says. And let me give you an example. This is a true story. It was two best friends. One friend went to the other house. They was on their way out for a date night. And the one friend got sick, and she said, "Hey, do you have some Tylenol? I have a severe headache." So her friend told her, "Go into the medicine cabinet, get the Tylenol bottle, and take you some Tylenol." So she did. She went to the cabinet, took the Tylenol bottle, poured it in her hand, and took it. Well, an hour later, she fell into a coma. And the doctors couldn't figure out why. I think she was like 20, 21. It was like, well, why would a healthy 20, 21-year-old person go into a coma after taking Tylenol? Well, when they looked closer at the Tylenol bottle, they found out that her friend's mom took the Tylenol bottle for whatever reason we still don't know to this day. She emptied out the Tylenol bottle and put her prescription medicine in that bottle. Now, had the friend looked at that medicine before she took it, she would have seen that didn't say Tylenol. Unfortunately, she fell into a coma. But the moral of the story is always look at, I don't care what medicine is, even your prescription medicine, because pharmacies make mistakes too. When you go pick up your pharmacy medicine, on that bottle, it should tell you the shape of the medicine, whether it's round, oblong, whatever the case may be. It should tell you the color. It should tell you what's on side 1 and what's on side 2 of that medicine. It should tell you that. Always, 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 I don't know how many times I always say, but always look at that and make sure when you take that medicine, you pour it in your hand, it's the color it says it is, it's the shape it says it is, and whatever is on the front and back, that's what it says it is. It should match. Because again, the pharmacies do make mistakes. They don't always get it right. And had that young lady in that story And it's actually a true court case. And if she would have looked at that when she poured it in her, but let me preface that to say, when you sick and you got a headache, and I think she had a headache and was severe, you just want some relief, and I get that. But let's pause for a moment to make sure that whatever we're taking, that it is what it is. So anyway, the case ended up getting dropped out of court because she was suing her friend because she said her friend tried to kill her. Well, the judge, looked at the conclusion and looked at the young lady wasn't trying to kill her. She had no idea that her mom emptied out all those Tylenol pills and put her own prescription into that Tylenol bottle. That's scary because you think if you pull that Tylenol bottle, you're going to get Tylenol. Yeah. But again, it is what it is. The young lady survived. She's okay. But they threw her case out of court because she couldn't prove that her friend was trying to kill her. I mean, listening to the evidence too, I'm not a lawyer, but just listening to the evidence, the young lady truly did not know that her mom did that. So I just want to encourage you, whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you take. It could be a vitamin. It don't matter. Make sure that it's whatever that vitamin or whatever that is that you're taking, it matches exactly what's on that bottle. You always, always, always want to check that. Because, sometimes you could be at work and you have a headache and somebody says, oh, I got Tylenol. That's fine and dandy. So they pour it in your hand. You just pop it in your mouth. No, no, no. You look and see what it is that you pop it in your mouth. Always, always. I don't care where you are. Always look and make sure that whatever you pop it in your mouth, I can't say this enough because, again, I do that. I actually do that. Not out of fear or anything. It's just you want to just, whatever you can do to protect yourself. It's not trying to be scary and thing, but just protect yourself because that young lady could have died. I mean, she didn't know. I mean, nobody knew that her friend's mom emptied that bottle out and put her own medicine in there. That's dangerous. She didn't tell nobody. But again, it was in her own medicine cabinet. So, I don't know. I guess the courts was never able to determine why her mom did that. And actually, her mom wasn't on trial. So I get why they didn't go into the whole situation. So it is what it is. We can move on from there, but always check and make sure. And another thing I want to tell you, when you get your blood work done from the doctor, always, always check it yourself. Because these doctors, they're so busy. And what is okay to them might not be okay to you. And let me give you an example. When you go get your blood work, don't just make an assumption. The doctor will come back and say, oh, your level's okay. And your stuff can be all out of whack. I mean, I don't care if it is 10 points off the range. Those 10 points can turn into 20, 30, 40, 50. And then next thing you know, you got a problem. But to the doctor, they thinking, oh, if it's just out of the range a little bit, we're okay. We're going to move forward. No. Like I said, go back into the list at, part 1 of this. And you could, no. When you get your blood work, it comes with 3 levels. It'll tell you if whatever reading, we'll just say cholesterol. It'll say if your cholesterol is under the medium, which they always give you what the ranges are. You can be out of one way and in the middle, and then you can be over. So it'll tell you like cholesterol. Just say if your cholesterol in the range is 150. Just say it's 150. And then you look at your report and you at 140. So that means you're below the range. It's not too bad, but it is what it is. But then what if it's like 160? Then you're out of range. So I always look at all of my stuff that's out of range. Always. If it's in range, I'm good. That's not a problem. But if it's out of range or even if it's under range, because you don't want to be deficient in an area, that can be dangerous too if you're deficient. So, and again, with my friend's oxygen level, I mean, that was all on the reports too. Her oxygen was deficient, but they ignored it. But anyway, we're not going to get into that because they don't do them to make me sad. So go back to part 1 if you want to hear the rest of the story. But true story. I went to the doctor, got a physical, got blood work done, and my triglycerides, which is, I think it's the amount of fat in your blood. My triglycerides was off, I think, by 10. I can't remember if triglycerides are measured in points or milligrams. I can't remember. But anyway, it was 10. I'll just say 10 points. It was 10 points out of range. So I get into the doctor's office and I say, okay, these ranges are off. We went through the ranges that were off and he told me what to do with some of the ranges to do. So we get to the triglycerides and I said, okay, well, the triglycerides is off by 10. He said, oh, don't worry about that. I said, no, they're off by 10. What can I do to get them back in range? He said, don't worry about that. And I said, but why not? He said, no, I'm going to wait till your triglycerides are off by 300. I said, excuse me, come again? Did I hear you right? He said, yeah. When your triglycerides are over the 300 range, then we'll put you on some medicine and da da da. I said, so why would you wait? I said, you do know what triglycerides are, right? And he looked at me like, well, I'm a doctor. I know what they are. Okay, well then 300 that's not cool. He just looked at me and said, no, it's over 10 points. We're not going to do anything about it. I said, okay, well, the devil is a lie because I'm going to do something about it. And Google is your friend. It can be dangerous, but Google is your friend. So I went to Google to find out how we can get these triglycerides down. And I went through that process of trying to get it down. So when I go back to the doctor, we get the blood work. That's going to be one of the things that I'm going to be checking to see, did it go down? Because again, if it's over 10 points, okay, fine. That's great. I know it's small to you. But that 10 can turn into 20 to 30 to 40. I mean, come on. You don't want to just leave it there. I mean, at least he could have just gave me, so what can I do to get it down? Or at least act like you somewhat concerned. But anyway, it is what it is. But I wanted to encourage you about those two items right there. Those two are very important. Make sure you check whatever you take in the medicine, and make sure you check your blood work. Don't just listen to what the doctors say, oh, everything is fine. No, you look at them and you come up with the decision that is fine for you. Because what's out of range to them, they thinking, even though that 10 point, what if I didn't say anything and that 10 turned into 20, 30, 40, 50, and we just let it go on and he wants it to get over 300? No, I'm good. But to him, I mean, because at the end of the day, these doctors are busy. You might have maybe 10 or 15 minutes when they walk in the door. That's why I encourage you to have at least 3 questions for them. Participate in your health. Please do. Please, please, please participate in your health. And like I said, go back to part 1 and listen to that and get more information. So I'm going to end it there because I got so much more to talk about, but we're going to go and make another part 3. So, do you know Jesus? You can know him today. He's standing right there at the door knocking, asking you to let him in. Let him in. You have tried everything else. Let him in. Oh, taste the Lord and see that he is good, because he is good. Now, he never, and if anybody can find it in the Bible, please give it to me, but he never promised that you're going to have, everything's going to be rosy. I've never seen that. But he did promise he's going to be there with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He did promise that. And I'm grateful for that. And that I believe. And I am a testament, and I can walk and tell you. When we get into the other investing you, we're going to talk about financial stuff. So I look forward to talking about that, because, man, I tell you, when I say God is clowning in my life, he is clowning. But, I had to go through what I had to go through to get to where I'm at. And it's just part of life. Again, life be lifing. I know that's not proper language, but life do be lifing. It is what it is. And sometimes you got to go through things. But Jesus never left me. Never. Never. He said he will never leave you nor forsake you. That's what he said. So until next time, may God do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ever hope or think. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.